Personally, I've been waiting 25 years for this day. When I was on the city council 25 years ago, we passed the Balboa Park master plan, which said, let's get the cars out of the center of the park, the Plaza de Panama, and make it a really important or really enhanced pedestrian experience. And we would have parking on the outside of the park, a tram system that would bring people in. That was never implemented. And somehow, last few years we got into this Jacobs plan, a $40 million effort which included a bridge and a parking structure, which I didn't understand, and which permanently, I think, defaced the park. And I said, only half facetiously, that I could do the same thing with a couple of traffic cones. Well, that's what we're going to do, basically. We're going to realize what people have wanted for decades. We're going to close this off to cars, but we're going to keep circulation moving so we can enter from both sides of the park. After the summer's over, we're going to close off the bridge over there on weekends, so people will be able to walk in from the park on that end, and we'll change the traffic patterns within the park on weekends. Right around here, the cars will turn around in front of that statue instead of, wait, they're turning around. Same place? Where are they making the...
Right here.
But when they go off onto the... where
They'll turn right here.
Same place?
Yeah.
Yes. No, one's behind the statue, one's in front of the statue.
Nope. No, all this on
Same,
this
okay.
side.
Okay, let me just retract, re-say that. What we're going to do temporarily, and all this, by the way, the beauty of all this is we can change it if we want to. We can change it if we want to. Cars will come in. There'll be a two-lane thing here. They will make a left turn here, and then, I'm sorry, am I?
You're right.
Yeah, okay, left turn here and out through the bridge. They're coming in on the bridge, they're coming down here this way. So you have this whole fountain area freed up for the first time in decades. We're going to have trees and planters and cafe seating in the Plaza de Panama. And the valet parking that is right here will have to go because of the change of the traffic patterns. We'll arrange other valet parking for the restaurant. The disabled parking that's here will eventually go into the Alcazar garden area. We don't have that on here, which is
Right there.
right here. But until that happens, we put disabled parking in the behind the organ pavilion. So we hope this is the way it's going to look. We're going to have a new tram stop right here. To bring people into the park, there's going to be a beautification process around here, and cars will be able to circulate on weekdays, but on weekends, eventually we're going to close the bridge. And remember, this is going to be necessary anyway, because the bridge is going to be closed, not permanently, it's going to be closed to all traffic from January to May of 2014 for seismic retrofit. And then when we get into the 2015 centennial, it'll probably be closed then too. So people have got to get used to new traffic patterns. People don't remember, maybe Lindemann is the only guy old enough to do this, but the cars used to circulate through the Prado on this side. And nobody would ever think about putting the cars back. In fact, nobody even remembers it. So I think once we get the cars out and the pedestrian experience and people will say, hey, what a great place to be. They're going to I think have a greatly enhanced experience. We're going today. As you know, we're getting these car stops out. We're going to redo we're going to get rid of all the paint, when we resurface this area, it's going to be a different color than the traffic lanes, and it's going to be a major improvement for the park area. I'm going to try to. You got a question?
Real quick, what did you mean by we can change it if we want to? Let's say something that it doesn't work. How easy it is to change it up?
I mean, we could just put those things back in. I mean, it's not like building a $25 million bridge where you've taken out everything and you've put that in. Ranger Kim here is watching us to make sure everything is done historically. That is, I can put those things back in. We can restripe it. I mean, we can do whatever we want. I mean, for example, we had we were going to close off the bridge on weekends starting, this weekend. The old Globe Theater, which is an important part of the park, has a summer program where they thought that would really restrict access until people get used to it. So we just said, okay, we'll wait till Labor Day. We had some discussions with the restaurant here about where to put the valet. There's several different options. So, but nothing, we can just change it literally overnight if we have to. And that's important. I mean, I think the experiment's gonna work. We have all kinds of studies, we have all kinds of research. But again, if it doesn't, we're in a position to change it.
Can you talk about the parking? I mean, it's already difficult to park here.
Well, let me just say a few things. One, we're only losing the spaces here, right here. We're going to, there's going to be enhanced parking outside the park and a tram system bringing people in. And we're not making that much of a change. Parking, when we did the study years ago, we can put parking outside. We have places like Inspiration Point. We have places like when the Centennial comes, we're going to have to do all this anyway. Where the Florida Street used to be a dump there. There's places for parking. There's innumerable places. If you have a tram system in, you'll be able to do it. And the tram system becomes part of the park experience. People will be able to learn about the park as they're coming in.
How much is it going to cost for that tram?
The point you want to make is you're still allowing cars to come through here.
Right. The supposed Jacobs plan advantages was that you keep circulation because people still need a way to do that. We're going to do that. If I may quote, the advantage is we're going to still keep circulation in the park. That is, cars will be able to go in and out. And although when we block the bridge on weekends, they won't be able to come in on this way. There'll have to be different signage, and people get used to things very quickly. I mean, there's just no question about that. But we're going to have the circulation. We have the handicap parking. We'll have the valet parking. But we free up this plaza for the first time since the exposition.
How much more public input would you invite or entertain? Do you need an EIR for any of the
we don't need the EIR, but we're going to have continual community meetings and continual ways to, we'll be explaining it to the groups. We've went around to, say, the Bankers Hill group. They had a virtually unanimous vote. I think one person abstained. The institutions of the park are basically behind it. They had some questions, which we try to modify. And I'm inviting everybody, by the way, this is a framework we're setting up that allows further enhancement and beautification. For example, when we close off the bridge and all those pedestrians are coming across, the Museum of Man here was wondering whether, when there's no cars, how will people see us? Well, there's going to be more pedestrians. It's a pretty ugly place right now. It's like a loading zone there. Let's beautify it, make it attractive. Let's make it. Let's bring more people into the Museum of Man. So we're setting up a way I think people can really build on the beauty that we have here.
How much is it going to cost to use the tram?
The tram is free.
It's going to be free. Okay.
How much is the project?
This is the people's. I mean, these enhancements are basically. I mean, we're just using city staff. It's no cost to us to do all this. We will need. We're going to have to regrade out the Zargardville and which will cost some money. We've asked for $300,000 in the budget. I'm not sure it's going to cost that much, but it's no $40 million project. It's as I said, a few cones, a few stripes, a few paint, a few crowbars, and we got it.
When does the tram start?
Late July or early August?
Late July or early August. We have the old trolley, the old town trolley system that was here. As part of the Jacobs plan, they had actually purchased some, I'll call them like Disneyland kind of trams, electric cars that will bring people in. So we went through with the purchase of those, and they will be added here. And we were also thinking, there's a guy in town who has purchased 3 streetcars that are from the 1915 exposition. They have these, restoring them, they become works of art, and we may use them in a traffic system within the park also.
Do you think you can satisfy the Cohens and others about the valet park?
So far, we've satisfied everyone. Bob Filner, he brings everybody together.
Now, the mayor's going to put a cone.
In fact, we named this
For the valet
after.
parking.
We named him after the cones.
Are they happy? Is there something about a filing an appeal before the
No.
city council? Are they satisfied now?
What we think is going to happen with the parking is that he will withdraw the appeals, and we're going to look at a possible drop-off down there or across the street, which he thinks it can work very well. So he's going to withdraw those appeals of the decision of this. But we got to take it off here because that interferes with all the plans.
Put that cone down.
Where's his cone going to go?
Right there. That spot is no longer parking.
No parking in the Plaza de Panama. Let's get. What do I do? I have so much leverage in this city, I want to tell you. Are you ready? Cut the ribbon. Woo!